ha 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 ha. Good morning to you. Do 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 do. Time for love morning. Singing a song. Do 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 do. Don't know what the words are. So hard to sing along. Do 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 do. We celebrate gratitude. We celebrate our wins. I don't know when it ends, but this is how it begins. We're having love morning. Have love morning today. We're having love morning. This is what I say. We share gratitude and we get our mood in terms of kindness and connection. And if we don't have a way to end the song, we just make up a word like laxotection. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. Statistics saying that no one is here live, which means that song was just for me. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. It is Saturday morning, and this is a daily practice of gratitude and connection, and trying to remember that we have opportunities to be kind and connect every day. So I am very grateful that I have First Saturdays today. Today I'm going to go and connect with the people in San Diego that could use a little help in terms of some stuff. So we give gently used clothing and care packs and food. So that's today. If you are in the San Diego area and want to join me, we have a wonderful group of people that all shows up, and it's fantastic. So I would love to have you. What are you grateful for? If you want to share as a comment, we would love to hear what you are grateful for. Statistics are showing me that no one is watching, which is unusual. So I just want to check. Oh, okay, there's someone here. Good. I just want to make sure that I didn't make it private an accident. I'm also grateful for beautiful weather in San Diego. I love it when it's this time of year and it's cool, but the sun is warm. Definitely cool. I'm grateful for this hat that's got macrame beads in it. This hat was gifted to me at Wisdom 2.0. Some stranger just said, I think you should have this hat. Isn't it great? And it's when I have pink hair, it feels like, well, why would I cover my pink hair with this awesome hat? But without pink hair, it's like I can go from, anonymous, invisible shaved head guy to woo woo, yeah, yeah, hoo, 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 look at me. Although this hat is warm, so it's really not like, not really a dancing hat. Although I did wear it last night to Ecstatic Dance. So I'm grateful for my experience at Ecstatic Dance. I took it off once I got in there because it was warm. And I'll share a little bit about my Ecstatic Dance experience. If there's no one else wants to share some gratitude, feel free to say hello, leave some gratitude. I have been doing a lot of journaling and as part of my self-growth path currently. And I'm very grateful for all the people that have been commenting and being supportive and this really beautiful awareness of how similar so many people, our journeys are. And so, as I share something I'm going through, the number of people that are like, oh, that helps to hear, or that's helpful for my journey, or oh, I know that feeling, or so it's really, I'm grateful for that affirmation, that recognition that we have this human experience it's not done in isolation, and it's not unique. We're all walking each other home, says Ram Dass. So Ecstatic Dance, if you're not familiar with Ecstatic Dance, it is a sober event. There's no talking on the dance floor, and you're really encouraged to just let it out, move freely, and people will crawl on the ground and do contact dancing, with consent, and all of these things are outside of my comfort zone. So I have been to Ecstatic Dance in the past, but I've also not been in the past, meaning I have gone to the front door of ecstatic dance events before and chickened out and said like, I'm just too anxious and too nervous. I don't want to do this. So I was in Bali, this place called the Yoga Barn, I think it's called. And it's this famous place everyone goes for ecstatic dance on Sunday, Saturday mornings, something like that. And there's like a line and you got to get a waiting list. And I didn't get in. And I was so relieved. And there's people out socializing outside, and I ran into some people that knew me from Burning Man, and so we were talking, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm relieved. I was pretty nervous. I was feeling pretty anxious about dancing, and they started laughing. They thought that was hilarious that someone as pink-haired and flamboyant as me would make a joke about being embarrassed or being shy. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, no, seriously. So that's why this was a really tough. An edge. So when Betsy asked me if I wanted to go, I just said yes. I'm really trying to work on not avoiding things that make me uncomfortable, not protecting myself from it, and instead, having the experience, feeling the experience. Often, trying to see, is this as bad as my anxiety makes me want to think it is? It's actually not that bad, I had a cool experience with this yesterday afternoon where I met a friend for lunch. No, for juice in the afternoon. And the traffic at the time they wanted to meet, I knew would be bad. And part of me was like, can we reschedule? Because I don't like to be on the roads when the traffic's bad. I get frustrated. And I was like, no, this is an opportunity to lean into it and just feel the experience. See if I get tense, I will notice in my body and I will work through it. So, and it worked. I did get into some traffic. I did start to feel myself tense, and I went, no urgency. And I was able to call upon the things that I've been studying about meditation and mindfulness and calming my body and being just self-aware. So I was like, right on, okay. Next classroom, ecstatic dance. That was a jump in grades. I skipped a grade last night because it was, I did okay. I definitely was self-conscious, but I did dance. Betsy beforehand, we met and she gave me some clothing donations for First Saturdays. And then she kind of gave me a little tutorial on contact dance. And she gave me some tips on things that she does to get into the flow, which was really wonderful and beautiful, and I appreciate her because she is one of those people that I see as she has a degree of freedom and flow in her life that I aspire to. She is one of the reasons that I am dedicating myself in the way that I am right now, because I see it's possible. A lot of people have been, not a lot, but there are people that have been responding to some of my self-growth go like, what are you doing? Like, what are you trying to do? Like, everybody's got anxiety. Everybody's got fears. Everybody's got things about them they don't like. Like you just, you do the best you can with what you got. And I'm like, yeah, I totally. That has been my chapter up until now, and I think I did awesome with what I got. And I even have used some of my insecurities and stuff to push me to do things that have been great in the world. And my need for self-love has pushed me to do things that are good in the world, and then I get good feedback from it, and it makes me feel okay about myself. But what if it's possible to fill up that cup of self-worth the rest of the way so that it doesn't get triggered in a place like ecstatic dance, and I can just feel a freedom in my body that I previously have only achieved through intoxication. So that is what I've been, working towards. Betsy and Ladybug are people that have showed me, that it is there are levels of growth that I aspire to. And so it was tough because I've been doing so much work this month, the last 5 weeks, and really pushing, and I feel like I'm making so much growth. And so there's a part of me that was like, what if I'm going to go to ecstatic dance and I'm just going to be like free? And I wasn't. I participated though. and I was self-aware, and I noticed when I had, feelings that were less than free, and I pushed myself to participate. I pushed myself to move around the room, away from the wall. I spent some time against the wall, moved through the room. I actually did some contact dancing with Betsy. And then my phone, my iWatch is like, it's time for bed. I'm like, oh my God. Because I've been going to bed early and waking up early. It's part of my path, right? So I did. I ended up, for a moment, I got into the music, and I was really like, I got into it. But just for a few minutes, maybe 4 or 5 minutes max. It's not really my go-to dance music. It's a little bit more tribal and flowy than I like kind of harder music, break beats and things. So I was trying, but then when it's my watch says time to go, I'm like, I'm gonna go. I've danced an hour. I participated. I'm gonna go, and I did, and I was outside, and I almost went back in because I started beating myself up. I'm like, dude, you have another, you participated for an hour. You have another hour that you can practice feeling uncomfortable. Go in there and feel uncomfortable. Go back in there and feel uncomfortable. And then I started to feel really icky in my body. And I was like, wow, I feel way worse now than I did when I was dancing. And what's happening now? Now my inner voices are criticizing me and telling me, you didn't do good. You haven't done enough work. You need to do more. You're not doing enough. You didn't do good. And I was like, fuck, dude, the experience was okay. This after effect of my voices picking on me sucks. And so I was like, and Lady Boogie just told me about, look, you got to read this book on self-compassion. And so I was like, let's say, and I watched a little bit of the author's Neff, of some of her stuff. And so I was just like, you did a great job. You did a great job. You went, you danced, you contact danced, you did it sober. You did a great job. And that tense feeling was like, so I went to my car, I went home, got to bed at a reasonable hour so I could get up at a reasonable hour that I want to get up, so I could do my morning routine and stay feeling good, so I could write about it this morning. It's on Medium if you want to read. I think I put it on Instagram too. So I survived my ecstatic dance, and as I reflect back over last night, I'm like, I'm going to take it as a win. That was a win. Was it the triumph that I was hoping for? No. But it was progress. It was a win. And I got to celebrate those wins. So, ba, 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 ba. Da, 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 da. I'm ecstatically dancing in my win. Woo, woo, woo. Good morning. Good morning, Chris and Matthew and Tommy. Good morning, Brandy. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Chris is grateful for liberation, freedom, and flow. Lovely. Tommy is grateful that the sun shines pink vibes into my fiber energy. Matthew pointing out that I'm progressing and I'm loved. Thank you, Matthew. Chris says, I'm learning to receive things gently in the feminine as opposed to hard in the masculine. My default is masculine when I'm anxious. Receive things gently. You mean yourself is gently receiving it? That's an interesting idea. Yeah, it was. I mean, I knew that it was going to be an edgy thing for me, which is why I did it. And I got to remember, I'm only 39 days into this chapter of growth and really pushing things. I made myself decaf coffee this morning. I haven't been drinking coffee, I haven't been having caffeine, but really have been craving some coffee. And so I looked up online. I'm like, how much caffeine is in decaf? And it's like not that much. I knew it had some caffeine in it, so I didn't want to kind of blow my efforts. Some people ask, like, why are you doing no caffeine in addition to no, intoxicants? And it's not no caffeine, because there is some caffeine in decaf, and there's a seventh of a cup worth of caffeine in the mushroom drink that I've been drinking. But the reason is because I am trying to live in a milder range of intensity. So not high energy, not low intoxication, and trying to be more dialed into my experience so that I don't have it jacked up. Because, I can feel 2 cups of coffee. But if I'm feeling 2 cups of coffee, I don't necessarily feel the more subtle experiences, feelings, communication that's going on in my body. This is very new to me, but if I'm going to start listening to intuition, listening to the body's communication in different ways, I can't be drowning it out with, intense, whether it's stimulant or intoxication. I need to, clear the air so that I can hear. Tommy is grateful that he loves and knows a sober Johnny. Thanks, Tommy. Brandy says, I'm grateful to be here now with all of you. I'm grateful for learning to accept that sometimes rather brutal physical pain is the only path to freedom from that original triggering pain. Ooh, that is a tough one. Someone messaged me last night, and they're like, hey, do you know any meditation techniques for physical pain? And I was like, whoa. I don't know anything. I mean, my meditation, I'm in no position to do any sort of guidance about meditation. I definitely don't know any meditation techniques for pain. I'm so sorry. I am really enjoying my meditation app, though, and I have been meditating now, not just with the app. I've also just doing some 10, 12 minute just sits. I had a real kind of, I guess, breakthrough with meditation where I don't know why I didn't get this but I knew that the objective wasn't to clear your mind, but I thought the practice was, just to keep coming back to your breath. But the shift from waking up and from Michael Singer, who does The Untethered Soul, and a couple other things I was looking at, is if you meditate and you simply notice, I had a thought, look at that, and you let it go. Oh, I had a thought, look at that. Oh, I had a thought. That's all you need to do. The point, according to these multiple things, is that meditation is simply to remind you, oh my gosh, look at what is happening all the time in my brain. There's thoughts just keep coming up. Ladybug gave me this technique of saying, thank you, next. Thank you for this thought, next. Thank you, next. Just to kind of like acknowledge that they're happening. It's not like oh damn, another thought came up. Come on, push it out. It's just like and so the big awareness of like, oh, this is happening all the time. Definitely happening when I'm not meditating. That perspective helps you for the rest of the day, because then as you're going through the day and you start noticing yourself having thoughts, like, oh, it's doing the same thing it does when I'm meditating. Bop, 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 bop. I can let it go away now, just like I did when I was meditating. Good morning, Paul. Yay, Paul is grateful for yard work and tending plants and sunshine. Yeah. Love that. I'm actually leaving town tomorrow to visit Asher, so on my list today is make sure all my plants are watered. I think this time of year, and just for a few days, I'll be fine if I water everything before I go. But I do get much joy. And I do have a few plants in the. I have a small outdoor garden, but I got a tomato plant and cucumber and a pepper and no, two tomatoes and then a jalapeno pepper. That's it. Thank you, Brandy. I will enjoy my trip. I'm looking forward to it in so many ways. Lori B says that the meditation technique she was taught was, oh, there's that. Oh, there's that. That's good. Yes, and there are very many styles of meditation. Like some, but I'm finding that it has been a helpful part of this huge curriculum that I'm putting myself through. Which the first time I said it like that, curriculum, because I think I am putting together a curriculum for myself. And I think what I'm going to do is I had this actually came to me in meditation. This was one of the thoughts that came. I go, there, thank you. Next was to invite people into like a 30-day program. Like, hey, we're going to do 30 days of I don't know what I would call it, but like, hey, like I'm like, hey, I want this is the path that I'm on. I'm going to be doing this for the next 30 days. You want to join me? Commit to 30 days, and we'll talk about the books that I'm talking about. We'll talk about the day one of the meditation app. We'll go through it for 30 days and just kind of have like a challenge, a 30-day challenge of meditation and readings and sobriety. So I have got First Saturdays today, which I'm very excited about. I'm going to go downtown, and I am grateful. Grateful that I have the opportunity to once a month really just sink into service. I will admit that I am feeling some nervousness. I see if I can change it to excitement, because there is a huge homeless event happening this weekend, an Easter celebration where exact same time as our event, they're serving this really beautiful Easter meal. Everybody gets their own backpack filled with stuff. So it's like an awesome event. It's way better than our event, except that we won't be there. But as far as like the stuff to get is way better, and it's like a big fundraising so that they can give all this massive meal, massive gift bags to everyone. So I don't know how many people are going to show up at our events today. And sometimes that's stressful for me when volunteers, make the effort to come out and then there's not much for them to do. That sometimes causes me stress. So that's one of the things I'm trying to let go of. But I will just be excited for the opportunity to connect, and even if we connect with a few people. Yeah, Tommy, probably good not to bring a big wolfy but dog. Thank you. Um, Breaking the habit of being yourself. I got 2/3 of the way through. When it's time to do the meditation part, I have been a little. It required some like writing exercises, and since I listen to books, it's hard for me to do it. I did start doing the meditation though, at least the beginning part of it, and then when it got time to do so maybe I'll revisit that. Thanks, Lori. Yes, whatever happens is perfect. I appreciate that. Your good reminder. Okay, well, I think it's time for a hug, and then we can go off into our days and celebrate being alive. Interesting. My stress, my hand goes to my heart. Yeah, I think that is where I feel it. When I get anxiety, it is unsettling in my chest, and I think that my hand is a way to kind of like try to like calm calm that. Thank you for that observation, Chris. All right, wherever you are, let's give ourselves a big squeeze. And as we feel ourselves holding one another, being in this embrace that involves all of us here, all of us that have ever been through this Hug Nation vibe of connection and kindness and gratitude. Let's amplify one another's gratitudes as we celebrate this day. And take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of you, thanks for being a part of this Love Morning, being a part of Hug Nation. I love you. Happy Saturday. Hi, Luann. Good morning. Enjoy this first Saturday. Happy April. Oh my gosh, it's April 1st. Okay, so heads up, careful of any news or announcement, or if a friend tells you they're pregnant, it's April 1st. Bye.